When most people think of well-developed legs, the first thing that they think of is actually the quads. But we actually do have the posterior chain, and actually today's video is going to be focused on the hamstrings, which a lot of people neglect. And their leg workouts really reflect this by being very quad dominant. I'm going to illustrate my point by bringing up a common leg workout that you might see someone do. As you can see here on the screen I brought up, there's only really one exercise that's hitting the hamstrings. The rest are very quad focused exercises. And this is a problem because when we're designing our leg training, we don't want to have overpowering quads and small hamstrings. We want to have a balance of exercises that are going to hit the quads and that are going to hit the hamstrings. So the purpose of today's video is to actually give you 3 really great hamstring exercises that you're going to be able to directly implement into your training, so you're able to bring up your hamstrings and make them just as powerful as your quads. For most of you that looked at that common workout that I brought up on the screen, you might have thought that the back squats are actually going to hit your hamstrings, and to a degree this is true, but I really want to bring up the point that the back squats are a really bad hamstring exercise. They're meant for building the quads because they serve the function of how the quads how the muscle actually performs, which is through hip extension and knee extension, making them a really bad hamstring exercise because they don't align to the functions of the hamstrings. So therefore you're not going to be able to get the most tension on your hamstrings by just performing that. So that's some bad news if you're really relying on the back squats for building thick hamstrings, because it's not going to do it. That's why you need to include isolation exercises and hip hinge exercises, which I'm going to be going over in today's video. So I just thought I'd bring that up because you might have looked at that and thought, well, there's not one, there's actually 2. It is slightly true, but it's not a very effective exercise. So that's why I'm going to dive deep into these 3 exercises. And so let's, without further ado, let's just dive right in. The first exercise is going to be the trap bar RDLs for 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Romanian deadlifts are the most effective exercise for really packing on that size by training the hamstrings through a hip hinge based movement. I've actually elected to go with the trap bar over the barbell because the range of motion is way more comfortable, and with the weight being evenly distributed out towards your sides, then it can be a very beneficial variation over the barbell for really reducing any lower back discomfort. The 2 most common mistakes that people make when performing a hip hinge exercise like the RDLs are using way too much lower back by not properly driving your butt and hips back when you initiate the movement. The second mistake is actually thinking that you have to go all the way down by trying to touch the floor. You only really want to go down as far as your hamstring flexibility allows you, so don't try to force that extra stretch because there is no real added benefit really, and it can really increase your chances of injury. The second exercise is going to be the lying leg curls for 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. This is going to cover the second function of the hamstrings by training knee flexion, and personally for me I find this variation over the seated leg curls much easier for establishing that mind muscle connection while getting a nice stretch, so that's why I've decided to go with this variation instead. The trick with the lying leg curls is to keep your hips pressed up against the pad the entire time. This is actually going to reduce your urge to want to cheat, which will only decrease the effectiveness of the exercise for really isolating your hamstrings. A lot of times I see people going way too heavy on these by not really focusing on controlling the weight and getting that deep contraction at the top. A great way to increase the intensity of this exercise is by varying the tempo and really lowering the weight by allowing a 2 to 3 second eccentric phase. This is really going to get those hamstrings burning, and this is also going to increase the time under tension or metabolic stress that's placed on the hamstrings, which is one of the 3 key driving forces behind muscle hypertrophy. The final exercise is going to be the high stance leg press for 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. By taking a higher foot placement, you're going to be recruiting much more hamstrings rather than taking a lower foot placement, because that's actually going to activate more quads. This is a great hamstring finisher because of the much shorter range of motion needed to activate the hamstrings. Therefore, we're going to take full advantage of this by performing up to 20 reps. You really want to focus on pressing through with your heels rather than your toes, and to do this you might actually have to limit your range of motion a little depending on your flexibility to really allow your entire foot to remain on the platform. Alright, so that's going to conclude today's workout on my top 3 hamstring exercises for really building that size and really making them just as much of a priority as actually building your quads. So I think having a good mix of quad focused and hamstring exercises are really great. So I highly encourage you guys to give them a try and start incorporating more hamstring work into your training, and I guarantee that you'll definitely reap the benefits of doing so. So like I said, that's going to conclude it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I do have a lot of great content that's in the works that I'm really planning and I'm really excited to release, and I want to make sure you guys are part of the journey. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, turn on the bell notifications. I do twice a week uploads now. For those who have been around my channel a little bit, might notice that I do release 2 videos a week. But for those who are new, I upload twice a week, every Sunday and every Wednesday. You can expect that consistently. So make sure you turn on the bell notifications to make sure you get notified every time I drop a new video. Also, give the video a like. It helps support my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm really trying to get out there. So if you could give the video a like, it does take a lot of work making the videos, but I'm really enjoying doing it. So hit the like button to really support my channel. And also, like I said, that's going to conclude it. Definitely give them a try. And until next time, peace out.